New necromantic dark wizard hyper technology discovered. Insofar as if you press the pause button, if you go into the gay people OBS settings window under file, the file window, the settings window, and the file window, you you can turn on the you can turn on the capacity to pause the video, and if you pause the video, then you don't have to remember everything or like take notes. You can just go for one bit and then exhaust all your options and then go for another bit. This will induce terrible, frightening leaps, such as uh, almost as if there's some kind of tape recorder, skip forward malfunction at play. Do not worry. Your computer is not going to catch fire. It's not going to be killed uh, by solar rays or solar radiation. No terrible death will occur to you or any of your equipment. It will, in fact, survive in perpetuity at all. Uh, the famous phrasing is so true. They love to say that. It is in fact so true that they nebulously as a pejorative love to say so true because it's true that the biomes suck and fuck turbo hyper style. Just goes down. The thing about building in not the Aether Paradise, famous paradise with beautiful, uh, legally distinct glowstone portal, totally normal glowstone portal that's uh, average even and not indicative of any kind of uh, zeitgeist culturally relevant. No. See, that's the thing about stairs is you ouch. If you do if you use stairs agonizingly, if you try to hold shift on stairs, oh, it doesn't do it. It doesn't do it, and it's horrible and it's terrible and I fall down and I die instantly. But now in not the Aether Paradise, now if you jump down, all the way down because there's a giant fucking hole, you lose all your things, assumedly. Uh, technically, well, it's not unfalsifiable. You could falsify it right now. You could leap, ooh, ooh, etc. You could leap quite largely, and yeah, you could leap quite largely, and you could jump too, and die and lose all of your things. But if you were to just fall down normally, like happens sometimes, has happened, which is why the current capital G Goats on Minecraft account is at 20, a measly 20 points, two chickens worth of points on the famous Falling Human miner server, mining server, Minecraft server. Fucking Minecrafting server is that if you fall down, it turns out even if you have two beautiful pieces of leather armor that smash into 1,000 pieces, absorb 100% of the fall damage. You die, you die horribly, and Sorry, let's make that 30 points. You see the way they lurch around like that? That's ping. 30 points. That's ping, and that's horrible, and it's miserable. And you can't feasibly fight anything without being totally turbo exploded. The thing about this kind of the thing about this kind of scaling, I'm pretty sure that's how that works. I'm pretty sure because if you fall a reasonably massive distance with 100 fall damage, it takes uh, oh, uh, that's the flu. That's AIDS. Dead forever, killed forever. 1 second. This might even be a good time to pause. Pause using the famous pause button. No, no, it's wearing off. Fuck. But if you fall far enough, but if you only fall a little with 100 fall resistance, then you still take half a heart. But if you fall a major amount, then you don't take any hearts, but you take all of your leather armor in fall damage. And it disappears, it explodes. Or almost does. And if that happens, uh, it takes, 100% of it, which is what 100 must mean. But there are many modifications to Minecraft in which you have 20 health in normal Minecraft, but 100 damage is 5 times your health. But there are many mods where you can have more health, and you can have take more damage. You can find a guy on the overworld at night who has like deals 5,000 damage to you with one attack, one measly little slap. I hope you appreciate the kinetic sort of. Imagine the like the arm. We're just gonna kill him of that motion, but with one measly little slap, you 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 run into the issue of dying instantly because it does like 1,000 times your health. But if you had 100% damage reduction and you had like 120 health or something, or like 80, let's say 80%, it doesn't really work with 100% because that just it all goes in the armor. You don't take any damage, but with like 80%, you had like 120 health, and you took a lot of damage, you would live because you ate a lot of um whatever that fucking carrot edition, spice of life carrot edition food, and you had uh all of your fucking Bobley's heart containers, egregious amount of health. But in this, it's not really, unless it's 100, it's not really as, you can have 80% combat uh resistance, but you can have 80% combat resistance, but if you if you only have 20 health and they're only dealing percentages don't really help that much when it's low numbers. If you deal 10 damage to someone and they mitigate 80% of it, that's 2 damage. But if they have 10 um if they have 10 flat like damage mitigation, then you deal 0 damage, which is infinitely better when you only have 20 health. If you only have 20 health, you don't have any health. So if you're fighting someone on high ping, any kind of zomboidal mind, Enderman. There's no Enderman. Uh, you you get smacked because you're guaranteed to get smacked. You can't get close enough on high ping to someone um to to hit them without a guaranteed being hit also. And so if you if you get hit like 3 times, even if you have really good, there's no armor here, but even if you have a good full set of really good armor, it's fucked. You're fucked. You're turbo fucked. You're turbo hyper mega fucked because you if you take 6 damage, half of 6 damage, like 4 times, if you take 4 hits from a zombie, that's still most of your health. You still go down substantially. It's 12 damage, and you only have 20 health. So it's not particularly ideal because it's hard to hit anyone is the point. But going backwards, going backwards, going backwards, going backwards. This is the time machine animation. This is the time machine animation. This is the if you hold um um Q, no, if you hold F9 and do it, yeah, if you hold F9 and you spin around really fast, you go back in time. It's true. It's true. It's yeah. That's exactly how it works. Um, and the point is the biomes, and you, the recipient, ideally have been inundated with this. But Gold Season, because there's 2 seasons in the, not the Aether, in Paradise, and, beautiful. Uh, what's a voluptuous? Both is a mispronunciation and also not particularly applicable to a biome. Even if you want to have sex with the like the tundra biome, you wouldn't necessarily call it voluptuous. You would say you go into like a tangent about like I don't know, like crisp snow on your fingertips or something. You're gonna chew on the wood, and by wood, I mean tree, not boner. Like that's a tree. See? So true, exactly. Um, but there are only two. Oh, I need a calendar to see the. How do you make it? I I spent a lot of. I thought I wanted to just not know, but in the basket. But in the end, it's just expedient ultimately to just know what the recipes are, which is why too many items exists like that. But um, huh? You can see it. I'm sure it does this normally too, but I didn't. I've never actually noticed it do that before, where it does all the rounding bit by bit on the coordinates. But the point is, it's fucking beautiful in here. It's so good. It's so good. You get the silver season is nice enough. It's it's that's crisp grass. That's really crisp. It's almost blue, and you could that's like tundra grass. If you've ever been outside and the crunching sound on frost, lovely, uh, obviously. But if I say I burst into tears, that doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. 'Cause I do that all the time, or functionally equivalent. I do that all the time. But the oh, that bit's floating. That's so good. It's probably that. Ah, the terrain generation here is fucking beautiful. Yeah, speaking of weeping openly, this you can't see it as well in the night. Just for any potential, this whole area is prime shiny. Huh? Mm, I don't think I set up OBS to capture the sound from this, but there was a sound, but the terrain. Oh, limestone, right? I forgot. But the terrain generation in this beautiful fucking place, it's good. It's just good. It's just it's got that beta like Extreme Hills feeling, and that's like floating islands, like the little gaps in it. It's just good. It's just a good thing, and when it's golden season and the sun's sort of bearing down, gotta recheck this. Gotta like move that to the side because originally it was this. It was like this, but or like this or something, but moved it over a little to be centered to the platform. Which the recipient, but what if someone else? What if someone else sees it? What if someone else views this? I always think I always think about that line. Fucking. But when I say you, there's a lot of things that could mean. There's not one generalistic you. I think a lot of people, you know, many people have that the famous Toledo you syndrome. But if I say you, that could mean it's a lot more contextual. Obviously, it's always contextual. That's the point of the word. But the particularly here, it's very loose. Here being the general Balmoral mindscape, outward outworld. I have that trouble with if someone goes by it's. I think that rocks shit. But I say, and obviously you can just understand it through the contextual. But see right there, it as in the situation, or like if I say, oh, it's fine, you get your shit rocked in a competitive multiplayer game, and you say, oh, it's fine. But what are we talking about the situation? Or are we talking about the teammate? Contextual, and you can get that, but I always feel like I'm making some kind of embarrassing mistake doing doing it like that because like that being using the word at all, even though you're supposed to use the word, that's how they work. But and like that's the whole. If you want to be referred to that way, then you want to like the whole point is like you do like that's why you're using that because it's a common terminology. But and I do have to pause and I'll forget everything. I'll forget the whole thing. And I'll never remember and I'll weep. But is it unpausing and pausing and the pausing system for open broadcaster software, famous software, ah, is clearly denominated by or delineated or whatever by the eensy little icon in the corner. Uh, uh, so it's not immediately apparent that anything has been done, but you can discern it if you look for more than 5 seconds, which is probably approximately how long it took to maybe like 10 seconds, but the recipient what? Okay, what was the? Okay, the point was at some point I will. I like to say you as as a pejorative, but if I'm also directing it at someone and saying, it's a little. Hmm. Oh, shape. Shake self, asterisk, asterisk, exclamation point. Um, if, if I'm directing it at someone, then the the impetus might also be to say you in that situation. I think if there's more clarity in saying, you could just say names. That's more reasonable. But I don't, because obviously you just say as, right. That's the the reasonable thing with as apostrophe. I know I know what that means. It's like a little dinky thing. But I always want to I always wish in my addled little heart um for it to be effectually like a diacritic. Like that's just a thing that's like it's part of it. How do you faithfully pronounce the apostrophe? You don't, because that's not the point, but I want to. But how do you do it? I think it's also just more not pretentious per se, but I think it's cooler to give it some bullshit titling like, oh, the recipient. So for reference, is Legend of the Wall. Should I? No, because it's kind of the same thing. Maybe it should be stairs instead of a slab of stairs. Enough for stairs. Um, but all that. What was that about? Yeah, it's all just like I was just talking about like contextual language and how it can defeat the point to get like more specific when the point is that you're using the words that like if you picked it on purpose, artistic intent. But if you're just talking, is there artistic intent? Or is that just normal intent? This is supposed to be about Minecraft. Famous Minecraft game for the Nintendo Switch. Famous crafting game for Atari 2600. Be quite whimsical, quite cool to have Minecraft on the. But you get those videos online, and that there's you as a pejorative again. But to get those videos where it's like uh, Minecraft running on the Pentium fucking the world's dinkiest Pentium, most likely. You know, pick the least maintained, you know, just pour a bunch of fucking maple syrup on the Pentium, run Minecraft on it, run game Minecraft for women on it, or arguably, you know, depending on your cultural touchstones, you could say that that is Minecraft, game Minecraft for women, but that's the famed famed stairs. Uh, Gay X or gay Y for women. Uh, Phrasing archetype. Fuck. Arizona would be funny. AZ, but as a nickname. But I fear then God would kill me with a big bomb. Not for any particular reason, just because it would be, if you do something totally banal and then God kills you with a giant bomb. Uh, that, is that bull? Is this bullshit? Does this look like total shit? Is this horrible? Does it is it is it fucked forever? It's fine. It doesn't. It's not that much difference, but it's probably nicer to be able to kind of walk more cleanly up, as opposed to if you do it here. It's more. That's not even true. It's the same thing. It's identical, but I suppose I will, because I want it to be the same, but that's not true. This is the same, and that was not the same. So this is the intended. But the point was, in all of this, the actual response here in this nominal response video was that the uh the the seasons are good, and I don't know what season it is in the overworld right now, but break the back of that. Oh, in fact, that's perfect. That's perfect timing. You just up, 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 and then what is it? Is it on the bottom? It's like there. It's flat, and is is it really like that? Mm, I'm not sure about this. Uh, was right feather, feather. But right now, perfect, perfect, perfect. Look at that. The beloved can't even see it through the ice. It's gone. It just disappeared. It's probably water. You probably can't see it through water. There are like portals you can't see through water. I like that. I like the image of, because you're just walking across the and you look through this and there's nothing there. But actually there is a portal here because it's you should be able to break that. You can still get the breaking particles out of it, but what if you just smashed it with your head and it was fucked forever? Um I didn't even check the fucking lights again. The point is that the northern lights, Aurora Borealis here, and the leaves and all this shit, and this has been uh proselytized to the recipient. You eh eh eh, wrong button. Previously, but it bears repeating. Also, it's just fun that you can the whole thing fucking freezes over, and you could do ice skating. You could do, but you're slow on this, and then you're normal speed, but you're briefly slow. It fucks with your acceleration. It's almost reversed here in Deep Winter because generally speaking, generalistically, the 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 stuff under the bridge becomes frozen over, but now it's the stuff under the bridge that is warmer because it's uh, warmer for some reason because of the warmth, because of the on account of it's warm. But you do really get the absolutely, and to some extent, I wish you could like freeze like if you chopped some leaves off, you could freeze them in time in a certain color, like the way special leaf blocks work in mod packs generally. But it is more of a systems thing. Bring it back to topicality. It's more of a systems thing that it just it does that because the world does that. The whole the whole wide world. Uh, time passes, seasons and shit. And you can't do anything about it. It's scary. What if you die? What if you die of old age? The Sims. Nigel. Oh, goodbye, sheep. It's fucked. Why why would you do such a thing? But I need to patch this up eventually. Need to do a lot of things, but I don't remember if this is vanilla or not, where it can be like different levels. I don't I do not recall. I know in this bountiful modification, let's make it 50 points. You just punch them to death. That's fucked. Uh in this beautiful and bountiful modification, ouch. The and just sort of yank that. Uh you can get the slate layers, which is like 8 layers of 8 layers of slate layers. 8 layers of itself becomes a block. So you can have obviously you can have partial layers, you can have partial block. That's what a slab is, and that's what a snow is, a carpet, but they don't have carpets. These are really nice. I like this block a lot. It's thin from the top. 1 pixel. This is a carbon nanotube. I could eat this too. Um, okay, this the second topic, the second topic, the second topic here was and this this was all encompassed in the part one here, which was just I wrote down just the word biomes. Um, but to the idea of the trying too hard thing, you go into the recipient, you go into this. Uh, and I've backtracked on my own thing here because I keep just saying you. I'm specifying it after the fact, but I'm not. It's not like a title. It's not like a fucking like Archbishop Archibald, the whatever, right? Um, how many? Not many. Sit here, wait for it to go. Probably there's not enough coal. Um, just sit there. But you go into this about like earlier about like corporate oversight pressure and just the sort of the way you're really trying to you're very much trying to do a certain thing as opposed to it being uh it's laissez-faire, laissez-faire. It's French. Laissez-faire. You know what I mean. The terminology here is just laid back, you know, devil may care about, as you say, putting just whatever the fuck in it. If is it epic sauce? Is it turbo epic sauce? Put it in. But the idea, I gotta do like 300 things in here. It's all been paradise. It's all been paradise. But um, the idea of it really has to be serendipity to some extent, because even this very nice and cool thing, and I am gonna use this. So is it not a pickaxe thing? Maybe it's just smashing it. Um, Even this, which does very good work, it is not serendipitous, even a little. It is very explicitly, you are attempting to do something. Trying to, you're trying to do something, and you're trying to recapture, or you should just say simply capture, an essence, which initially was. I think just naturally you have, as a modding team, you have, nominally it's easy for you to, or easier for you to capture that, the more lo-fi your operation is, because that's what it was. If you want to capture a lo-fi operations essence, it helps to be coming from the same place. But if you have a modding team, you also have the implicit issues there, or the implicit pitfalls there. Not issues, but generally modders will deeply complicate things, because it's very much more mods, more things, more, which you also mention as the more things in newer versions. Modders have this even more so than any, because modders are simultaneously, they have a much higher throughput, and they also have much less, they are a sort of superposition between the maybe laissez-faire, but uh more bashful original developer, who will put quite a bit of agonizing into their, whether their bullshit is, it's got to be as good as possible, whereas the modder is really the two cakes dilemma, where they're gonna end up, if you're modding, you're gonna end up downloading 1,000 things anyway. That's always the gimmick. So why not just have more of it? I don't think this is. I played a. We played a. What was it? All the mods, nine, 8, 9, or something recently, a few months ago. That was pretty good. It was extensive, but it was relatively non-bullshit in that it had a very clearly delineated quest system, and it was, you know, and the stuff just was, it had a reasonable amount of integration. Except Greg Tech. Fuck Greg Tech. I know Greg Tech has its own infinite whirlpool. There's that one dipshit nightmare mod that's like the Greg Tech mod, that's, oh, it's gonna take 8,000 hours to complete. If I want to put 8,000 hours into a game like Minecraft, I want to do it, doing fucking parallel play shit like this. Uh, I don't know why I'm. Really, I should do that. but I have that open all the time, so I can't do that to, or not even parallel play necessarily, just like, make your own fun out of it. The action figure shit, which is something that you need to learn to do, because eventually I think everyone runs into the problem where they're like, oh, but it's I'm retarded to be doing this. I'm me when I'm retarded. Um, Wojak image where it's like, oh no, you can't play with toys like a little gay faggot anymore, but you have to, otherwise you'll be turbo miserable. This is playing with toys. You don't need it's fun to have a quest system. It can be cool to have a quest system, but ultimately, if you have a quest system, that's not necessarily what's going to be good in a game. Many times, what's good in a game is wandering aimlessly. Many such cases. Did I did I get that from you, or did or is this just like a independently? I feel like I've absorbed that linguistic mannerism from you wholesale. I feel like that's something you say, but I can't. It probably is. This is also falsifiable, but I don't want to pause to go do that. But yeah, but uh you get modders doing that is the point, and the 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 laissez-faire thing is this done? No, it's never done. Just hide in the corner. I don't know how the chickens get in now, but they still do. Probably up there, off the stairway. Um, yeah, because obviously you can attribute it to a number of things. Corporate oversight, but also the the way you describe it as specifically what's the there's a terminology for that. Pick me, pick me this as a terminology. I believe is common parlance in uh not any of the good internet homo circles, but extant internet homo circles. But um the because when you have all that stuff, all that money on the line, obviously that is a corporate incentives from up high, but it's also a like it's not necessarily that. It stems from that in this case, but it's not inherently that way. You can get stuff like that from just sort of wanting to very much to be liked intensely. Um, and yeah, uh, yeah, you can get that way from just wishing to be liked on a purely independent scale. But I think this is a I have a whole recurring thing about um it is in fact a bad idea to what am I doing? It is a bad idea to try to be liked on purpose. This is something that is not immediately intuitive in any way socially, because you think, oh, I want to be liked because that's how sociality works. That's how social interaction works. You make some kind of a friend or something, and then it works, right? But not necessarily the case. If you're inundating yourself with having to be liked on the internet, that's just psychological suicide essentially. You're just blowing yourself up into tiny pieces for funsies, for no reason, for dying and being killed reasons essentially. This is always the thing, but the when you become famous, generally it's because you wanted to become famous. Most people who, like, if someone's an artist and they get big, they've been trying to make it big, typically, for, probably for monetary reasons, right? But also you can say, you know, fame is something that is advertised to you as desirable, as something that's good to have, but really it isn't. The human mind, you know, cross your fingers. The human mind is not particularly, fuck. Okay, tangent, but I think it's funny that um, crossing your fingers is contextually simultaneously a show of sincerity and like deceitfulness. Like you cross your fingers for luck. You're like, oh, I'm big smiling. I want this to be real forever for realsies. Like that's a very like whimsical, uh, adjacent to a naive kind of piece of like like luck mysticism, like knock on wood kind of thing. But you get hiccups. You get also, if you put it behind, then you're being deceitful. It's cool. It's interesting. It's a fun thing. It's I would assume it has the same kind of root too, where it's like, in both times you're wishing for something with it, but to put it in front of yourself is like to put that forward honestly, and like the reverse is the opposite. The reverse is the opposite in many such cases. Um, but in a lot of cases, you become famous, and it's just, you're fucked forever. There's nothing. What benefit do you get from, oh, you never get to have a friend again because everyone's like, unless they're also famous, everyone's trying to like parasocial buddy up to you for no discernible reason other than like effectively what you call it, social cargoism. Just everyone wants to be friends with this guy, so do I. I guess you could call that groupthink, but I hate the word groupthink because I that's one of those. But I'm a pretentious piece of shit, so I should be saying it all the time. Is the issue? So maybe I should start saying it and say it very many times over and over, repeatedly ad nauseum. Um, but it's not good for you. There's nothing good there, and it fucks you up forever. And there's no real benefit other than the you know very superficial sort of chemical hit of big number, and also the feasible monetary gain. Or you can say something like, oh, I could reach so many people with my art, smiling mode. But I feel like that's often a I'll say cope. I'll call that cope. I'll say the cope word, the c word, the other c word. Um, that frequently, you can give out uh, a selfless sort of nice motive or benefit, but often there is still the sort of hindbrain, lizard brain shit of the just inherently the ulterior motive, selfishly. But what if I had a big number though for me reasons? But that's bad for you, and everyone who's famous ends up miserable. So it's a bad thing to do to yourself. It's a bad idea. Huh. chunk has unloaded. Only partially, only down there. I always think that's silly. I always think that's silly because the way I always envision it is the chunk goes all the way down, is how I think about it. But obviously not necessarily true. You know, think about occlusion culling. Nothing behind, the whole town's gone. The whole town's gone. It's gone. It's not there. It's back. It's gone. Oh, it's gone forever. It's back. Um, um, this is all from, you get one like 40-minute video out of a 40-minute video, and then this is a 50-minute video out of like 10 minute snippet. I use this line a lot from the fucking Running Shine Yick video. No, don't call it. I wanna call it Y2K because it's, you can say the funny word. It's funny to say Yick, but that's not what it's called. The beautiful intent of the whimsical minds of the brothers Ack, which is how you pronounce that, I think. Um, the whimsical minds of the brothers Ack intended for it to be Y2K, but in the Running Shine Y2K video, the line is, there's a reason they Discord notification sound. There's a reason they ban you for writing like this on some forums. It's bullshit to read. It is bullshit to read. It's bullshit to listen to. That's my repeated line that, either I say absolutely nothing at all, or I say entirely too much. The total roller coaster high low of like, either I'm fully an antisocial reclusive wretch, or I'm very, very, it's just gonna be 300 words, 3 million words, whole wall. But I don't know. I can never do falling asleep to videos or anything. But I know it's an extant genre. You could binaural beats. It could be bellmortal beats to fall asleep to, and you could have a horrible fever nightmare and my head's on a spider, and I'm chasing you through a pumpkin field. Those fucking those cool ass funny hee hee ha ha, and their vanity played it too. They're special. These are the do I have no do you, I don't know how to avoid crushing these, but the beautiful golden gourds here. Golden Jill, Golden Jack. Oh, beautiful Yill and Yak. My beloved Yill and Yak. I always forget there's like 2 blocks of saturation from one. I would always do the like water one, water crop, but you don't have to do that. It's too wide, not too. That's 3 skeletons. Let's move away from that, so I will die instantly. But not too wide as in too much wideness, but rather the number to the numeric second wide. 2 blocks wide. Yeah, but I've lost my I finally lost my train here. I can conjure no tangentials immediately. So tune in next time for Um, uh, some kind of a, some kind of a. Let's bake this. What's the gematria on? It's the. How do you spell gematria? Is it gematria? 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 And I have to turn the fucking Java on this. I shouldn't call JavaScript Java. Those are different things. Okay. Undersea space district. What's the gematria on this? Uh no. No, there's different gematrias. The police are here. Okay, so there's Hebrew gematria, there's English gematria, and there's simple gematria. In fact, maybe there's more. Latin gematria. There's a lot of them, but okay. Um, okay. Uh, okay. So Undersea District has the same Hebrew gematria as I am here for a purpose. Also, the Rising Phoenix, ancient Egyptian, uh, Lucifer with a Z instead of a C, um, revealed. You are mine. So I'm assuming the Undersea District is Egyptian, demonic, owned by like the devil. Little name tag over there. Uh, and is it's there for a purpose, assumedly to be undersea, and the rising phoenix must mean that it goes up. Look, see, like it goes up with the trees bit there, and that's the that's the Gematria undersea district. I love that shit. I need to do that more often. Just whimsical baking, whimsical whimsical gematria. Because people only do that for miserable reasons. Like my bitch wife left me, and I need Q to save me. I need Q to save me and blow up my bitch wife. But but you could just do it for funsies, or like less dire spiritual reasons. But I think to simply incorporate whatever. Okay. What's the gematria on Unicode right arrow sign? Zero, evidently. But what's the rules? We need to find out the secret rules. Um, okay, that let's interpret that as an O. What's the gematria of a okay, it's a zero. So let's just not worry about that. So rule space, that's also a zero. So rule N1 NL1 no running. Oh, you have to turn on the filter to view rude words. Okay, let's do Hebrew gematria again. Um, the real G on Earth after birth. Okay, so this means you're a real G if you don't run. Anonymous, we are Legion. That just means this is a cool rule for hackers. And Pineapple Party. Oh, video games. Rule no one, no running. Hebrew gematria is out to video games. So rule number one, video games. Easy. That's so true. That has to be true. not only does that have to be true, um, my head kind of hurts now. I think I have to go lie down. This is the issue with this is the issue with if you do this kind of thing, if you are uh, predisposed, that let's say, um, no, I don't have to lie down. I'll just eat the rice. Delicious rice meal off to the side, completely ignored for like 40 minutes to do this, which is, you know, worthwhile, I think. And now after a tremendous jaw workout, delicious rice meal with minced sausages, essentially kind of crushed up, bit of garlic, a lot of cheese. It's good. It's a good meal. Fairly, 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 right?